2021-2022 MSJC Program Review for Instruction, Illumin Template Instructions. Section 3B, Part 2, Subsection 3B1. Let's look at Section 3B1, Fill Rates. We'll create an example response using audio technology. There is no audio technology in the academic program window. Let's go to msjc.edu. Under Programs and Classes, let's select Catalog. Then Catalog 2021-2022. Then Instructional Programs. Then Audio and Video Technology. Now select Degrees and Certificates. Click on the AA degree. We need to look under Music. So in the Academic Program window, choose AA Music, open the Academic Program ID window, and there are the AT Audio Technology degrees. Since the AA Music Advanced AT is not included in the college catalog, we'll assume it's inactive. Let's choose AA Music AT. Note that the program fill rate is low beneath the district average, aqua dashed line, and set standard, orange dotted line. Let's mention this as we briefly describe the data. In section 3B1, click on the Maximize Minimize button to view all the pre-populated data. Under the aamusic.at graph, hit the Enter key a couple of times to create some space and enter your response. The AA Music AT fill rate is typically in the high 50s to low 70s, below the district average, about 88%, and set standard, 85%. Remember to add your interpretation and/or analysis here, why you believe the fill rate is relatively low. Enter a little more space and you are done. Remember to hit Save Draft often. Let's go back to the college website, Degrees and Certificates for Audio Technology, to make sure we look at all the awards. There is a Film, Television, and Electronic Media AST, acronym ASFTVE, and a certificate, acronym CTMUS.AT. To continue the response for audio technology, let's review these fill rates. Let's choose AS.FTVE from the Academic Program menu. Only AA.MUS is visible right now. We need to reset the Academic Program ID menu to its default for AA.MUS. Click on the eraser just above the upper right-hand corner of the window. Let's choose AS.FTVE. In the Academic Program ID window, we see only the option B and option C variants for this degree. So there isn't data from another program combining with the ASFTVE data. We only want the ASFTVE data. Clicking on option B and option C variants, we see the data isn't any different. We'll leave the default all selected. The fill rate here is better, but it is still below the district average and set standards. Back in the template in section 3B1, we'll enter our response under the ASFTVE fill rate graph. The ASFTVE.AST fill rate is typically around 70 to 75%, below the district average about 88%, and the set standard 85%. Remember to add your interpretation and/or analysis here, why you believe the fill rate is relatively low. Remember to hit Save Draft often. Let's do the same thing for the certificate. Scroll down to CT Music and then select CT Music AT. Here the fill rate is low again, ranging from the 50s to the 70s. We are not picking on audio. Audio was chosen as our example so you could see how to use the college catalog to find your awards in the data program. And just because a course or program has fill rates that are below the average and set standard does not imply that there is something wrong that needs to be fixed. Here is our response. The CT Music AT fill rate is typically in the 50s to 70s, again below the district average and set standard. Remember to add your interpretation or analysis here, why you believe the fill rate is relatively low. Remember to hit Save Draft often. To complete Section 3B1 for audio technology, let's also review data disaggregation by site and modality. Since we are in the CT Music AT data, let's start here. Let's disaggregate by location. Click on the Location Region menu. Note that the courses for this certificate are offered at MVC, the Menifee Valley campus, and SJC, the San Jacinto campus. Evidently, these courses are not offered at Banning or Temecula, since for these two sites there is no data. Note that the fill rate for MVC ranges from the 70s to the 90s. The fill rate for SJC is in the 50s and the 60s. Here is our response added to our previous response for the certificate. The fill rate at MVC has risen from the 70s into the 90s in recent years. At SJC, the fill rate has risen from the 50s to the 60s in recent years. Remember to add your interpretation and/or analysis here, why you believe the fill rate has risen at both MVC and SJC in recent years. Remember to hit Save Draft. Now let's disaggregate by modality. First, reset the Location Region menu using the eraser. Click on the Modality menu. Existing data provides face-to-face and online options. Choosing face-to-face, we see the fill rate ranges typically from the low 50s to the upper 70s. The online fill rate for fall 20 and spring 21 only is in the 50s. This is curious, as last year there was data for the 4 prior semesters. This does give us the opportunity to see how volatile small data sets can be, so we'll take it. Look at the individual course section counts in the upper right corner. Notice that most courses offered between 1 and 4 sections per semester last year. Click on each course. Notice the variability in the yellow fill rate graphs for each course. To return to the full data for this page, click one more time on the course you last highlighted in the upper right corner. If you believe your data are missing or inaccurate, please contact Program Review at msjc.edu. Here is our response added to our existing response for the certificate. The face-to-face fill rate has risen from the 50s into the 70s recently. The online fill rate is only for fall 2020 and spring 2021. For these 2 semesters, the fill rate was in the 50s. Last year, data for prior semesters was available. Remember to add your interpretation and/or analysis here. Why you believe the fill rate has risen for face-to-face classes and is low for the last 2 semesters for online sections. Remember to hit Save Draft. Section 3B1 for this example will be complete once we briefly describe and analyze the data disaggregation for location and modality for both the AA Music AT and ASFTVE AST awards. Just add these responses to the existing responses under each pre-populated graph and we are done. To complete your template, make sure to view the fill rates for every degree and certificate. Utilize the college catalog to find all your awards. Provide responses for the program fill rate and fill rates for data disaggregated by site and modality. Please remember to add 1 or 2 hits of the Enter key to space your responses away from instructions and pre-populated data. If an attempt at disaggregation does not yield actual disaggregation, disregard. Remember to use the eraser to reset defaults as needed and to hit Save Draft often. If you have any questions or would like assistance, please contact Program Review at msjc.edu. This template needs to be completed no later than 19 November 2021. The wraps and cappers are due 17 December 2021. Thank you for your participation.